Today in my free Facebook group called Your Lifestyle is Medicine, someone asked, my doctor suggested I drink apple cider vinegar for my acid reflux, but it is making my symptoms worse. Is this something that you recommend in your programs? And this was my answer. Apple cider vinegar can make acid reflux worse. It is usually best for people who have low hydrochloric acid and not high. This is why it works for some people and not for others. And because it works for some people who have acid reflux, it is frequently universally recommended. Understanding the root cause of your digestive issue is essential for choosing the therapies for your body. Unfortunately, there isn't a universal program or diet that will work for every person that has acid reflux or any other digestive issue. So knowing your root cause is essential. So over the last 15 years of practice, I have worked with thousands of people as of this point, and I've literally interviewed hundreds and hundreds of people on their digestion, and I have recognized some baseline similarities and some very pronounced differences. I could speak to 10 people with acid reflux who say that they've tried apple cider vinegar, and 5 of them will say it helps them, and 5 of them will say it makes it worse. And that holds true for practically every home remedy and diet out there. So why is that? Well, it's because acid reflux, just like any other digestive issue, is a symptom, but the root cause can differ from person to person. So if you Google how to cure acid reflux, you're gonna get like 100 natural and conventional medicine cures. You're going to weed through them one by one and either find some relief or nothing at all. And this may lead you to conclude that your problem cannot be solved, especially if you've already tried a PPI or a conventional medicine and it didn't work, which if you're watching this is likely that you've tried a PPI and you did not get the resolution you wanted, which is why you have ended up here listening to somebody like me. So I tend to get the people who have reached the end of the line. You've tried multiple therapies and not gotten answers. Your life has become centered around your digestive issue. You plan your life around it and you cannot get answers. And you're on a hamster wheel of trying to find one remedy and solution after the next, trying to figure out what is going on. So what I want to do in this workshop is to help to shorten your learning curve. So here are some of the root causes that can lead to GERD, acid reflux, constipation, and irritable bowel syndrome. Hiatal hernia. So a hiatal hernia is when the stomach pushes up the hiatus, which is a small hole in the diaphragm that the esophagus travels through. Conventional medicine uses PPIs and surgery, but in my programs, we use physical exercises to help to pull the stomach back in place. Apple cider vinegar can be problematic for somebody who has hiatal hernia because it tends to increase acid. Next root cause, SIBO, small intestinal bacteria overgrowth, which is basically when too many bacteria, the wrong kind, populate the small intestine, and it can lead to uncomfortable symptoms such as gas and diarrhea. It can also inhibit your ability to digest and absorb nutrients from the food. Apple cider vinegar can help people that have SIBO, although treatments should mainly be focused around balancing gut bacteria. H. pylori. H. pylori is when a pathogenic bacteria overgrows in the stomach, and apple cider vinegar can be helpful in H. pylori as long as it hasn't evolved into gastritis and ulcers, which just imagine pouring vinegar over ulcerations in your stomach, it's going to create pain. Low hydrochloric acid is something that is very frequently not recognized by conventional medicine and even many natural health practitioners, and it creates a lot of the same symptoms as high hydrochloric acid. Apple cider vinegar can be extremely helpful in somebody who has low hydrochloric acid production in their body, so it helps to increase it. And when you have low hydrochloric acid for too long, you can become susceptible to H. pylori infection. Another thing that contributes to low hydrochloric acid production in the body is vagus nerve dysfunction. So the vagus nerve helps to regulate secretion of hydrochloric acid in your stomach. And what contributes to vagus nerve dysfunction is chronic stress and anxiety. So I see low hydrochloric acid and anxiety run tandem together. Another common root cause is being overweight. So even just being 10 pounds overweight can cause acid reflux. Another root cause is posture. If you've had, GERD, silent reflux, etc., you may have thought about your diet, but have you ever thought about your posture and misalignment? which can alter the position of the stomach and squash the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is the longest running nerve, cranial nerve in the body, and it helps to regulate digestion and many other bodily processes. And as I said before, it plays a key role in the secretion of hydrochloric acid in the body. Vagus nerve dysfunction can occur through postural distortion and chronic stress. Many times postural issues related to hiatal hernia and constipation originate in the pelvic floor and related to the psoas. The psoas muscle is the thickest running muscle in the body, and it's our fight or flight muscle. So when we get scared, we contract the psoas. When we are constantly contracting or in that state of anxiety or fear, we can contribute to misalignment through our pelvis and our shoulders and our hips, as well as we can tug on the diaphragm, creating symptoms such as difficulty breathing, and can contribute to pushing the stomach up through the hiatus. So releasing mental and emotional stress, changing your stress response will help to realign the body. And so in those cases, apple cider vinegar may help depending on whether your HCl is high or low, but primarily what you need to do is focus on realignment and posture, which you need physical exercises. Another primary cause is breathing dysfunction. So the LES, or the lower esophageal sphincter, is normally closed during swallowing when it allows food to pass from the esophagus into the stomach. When the LES is weak, however, acid can flow back up into the esophagus and cause GERD, acid reflux, and heartburn. Poor posture, certain foods, trauma, and stress can weaken the diaphragm and weaken the LES. There are certain foods and preservatives that are commonly used that weaken the LES, such as citric acid. So those types of food should be universally avoided by anybody suffering from acid reflux. But one of the best ways to strengthen the LES, which has been scientifically backed through numerous studies, is through breathing practices. Breathing practices can help to strengthen the LES, and those are called, in conventional medicine, inspiratory muscle training. And these are scientifically backed. You can easily Google it and come up with numerous studies if you'd like to read them. In yoga, we have many different types of inspiratory muscle training techniques. Essentially, these are training techniques that utilize resistance breathing. Resistance breathing is just that. It's almost like lifting weights for all of your breathing muscles. It's when you make it more difficult or strained to inhale the breath into your body. So one of the popular breathing practice that we use in yoga is called Shitali Pranayam, where you stick out a curled tongue. If you can't stick out your curled tongue, you can do it through lightly clenched teeth or even pursed lips. But you're creating resistance on the inhalation, or, so you don't have to inhale strongly, but you're making it more difficult for you to inhale. And so doing different breathing techniques for a set period of time each day can help to strengthen the LES and strengthen its closure so that you're not experiencing that backflow up the esophagus. If you're interested in learning more about these techniques in depth, I highly suggest that you sign up for my free digestive quiz, which the link is below in the comments, and you can take this quiz and you'll find out what your digestive type is. When I am finished with this new master class that I'm creating right now, we'll be diving more deeply into these practices. You'll get an email for when that master class comes out, and you'll learn more techniques more specific for your constitution and how to identify more clearly your unique root cause. So what did you think about these primary root causes? Did you see yourself in any of them? I want to just let you know that this was a high-level overview. We are going to be exploring these topics more in depth. You've already had your consultation with me, and so you have a clear idea on where it is that we're focusing together. But I am a huge proponent on education, and so this material is meant to support you in the protocol that you receive directly from me. Of course, you're free to ask any questions on our calls or post them below. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next lesson.